page 466. The Internet, its use and abuse. Annual Exam 2016. Points: information and entertainment. Results: email, buying and selling. Easy access, ACCESS, to information. Obscenity, OBSCENITY, cybercrimes. This scientific innovation is so helpful that few spheres remain in this world which are being organized without the application of computers. Internet is a means to enhance one's knowledge and perception, wisdom and perfection. One can be acquainted with the world within a few minutes via the Internet. Internet is so informative that the user may avail himself or herself of the scope of collecting data for different disciplines. Email is beneficial to quick communication. Banking and investment systems become quick and errorless. Internet marketing is in vogue, VOGUE, nowadays. Its benefits are many, but Internet has now been abused by some. Chatting, CHATTING, for example, through the system of Internet is now the most notorious. The youth have been wasting their energy, indulging themselves in apparently useless chatting. Besides, Facebook is now being used mischievously, MISCHIEVOUSLY. Although Internet is a blessing of the modern science, it becomes a curse when it is used in doing something frivolous or criminal. Everyone, especially a student, should be aware of the abuses of Internet. People should control themselves while availing themselves of the opportunity of Internet, else they will become its victims. Word notes: enhance, বৃদ্ধি করে, perception, ধারণা, mischievously, ক্ষতিকারক এমন ভাবে, frivolous, অসার, criminal, অপরাধমূলক, in vogue, প্রচলিত. Use and abuse of the mobile phone. Points: introduction, a powerful device for communication, its demerits, abuse by the young generation, effect on environment, conclusion. WBTS Set 9. When telephone was first introduced in the world in the 1950s, people were ecstatic for its communication facility. Of late, the introduction of mobiles makes the telephone a relic. RELIC. Mobiles are in fact indispensable in the present day of hurry and business. Communication is possible at all times and in any place. But everything has its merit and demerit. So mobiles are to some extent to be cursed. People, especially young generation, have been abusing mobiles. They not only chat in an unexpected way, but also indulge themselves in leading immoral, IMMORAL, lives. Obscene video clippings and some other versions of immoral entertainment are now available in mobiles. Therefore, the students have now tremendous fascination, FASCINATION, for the mobiles. Consequently, instead of studying, they concentrate on using mobiles for sheer fun. Numerous towers have been erected for the network of mobiles. It is well known that a particular wave which is responsible for the mobile network harms the ecological balance of the environment. It is evident in the pale colors of the trees and fruits adjacent to the mobile towers. The use of mobiles while crossing roads and driving has also resulted in increase of accidents. Thus, it is the time to be conscious of the abuse of the mobiles. The concerned authority should take immediate steps to stop immoral business which is proliferating. All should remember that the sole purpose of mobile is to communicate. Entertainment may be available in the network of mobiles, but there should be no immoral design. Above all, the government should restrict the use of mobiles, so much so that antisocial activities may not be done through mobiles. Word notes, ecstatic, paramanandajanok, inevitable avashambhavi, obscene or sleel. Failures as the pillars of success. Points, introduction. Failures are lessons for achievement. One should accept both. Conclusion. Failures and success form an integral part of life. The concept of perfection is an ideal. No successful person in this world can claim that he or she has not experienced failures and defeats in the course of his or her accomplishment or achievement. Failure is but inevitable in the process of success. One may be able to get at the intended goal if he or she endeavors constantly to reach the destination. There are recurrent examples of the great men and women of the world who were initially hindered in the course of their journey towards success. But their greatness lies in the fact that they did not stop themselves from their subsequent attempts. They did not accept defeat. Constant endeavor is a necessity of success. Nowadays, some people, especially students, are frustrated so easily that they do not hesitate even to commit suicide. This is surrender without a fight. In any endeavor, success may not come easily. What one needs most in this respect is, of course, patience, P-A-T-I-E-N-C-E. To have an uncompromising motivation for reaching the ultimate end and to have patience to tolerate every odd are certainly the basic principles of success. That failures are the stepping stones to success is undeniable because we learn from our failures. Word notes, integral, avicheddo, ideal, adarsho, inevitable, apariharjo, endeavor, uddog. A day you will never forget. Sample questions, WBCHAC. Points, which day, what you did, why it became memorable, pleasant or unpleasant. Conclusion. I remember the day I first went to see a movie in a cinema hall. It was a Sunday after my class 6 annual examination, page 467. The results would be declared a week later. Jurassic, Jurassic Park was being screened at Jamuna, JAMUNA Cinema Hall, and my parents decided we would see it. The day dawned bright and clear. As time passed, my excitement grew. I had heard about the movie from my friends and could not wait to see it. After a quick lunch, we arrived at the hall for the afternoon show. The door opened into a huge dark room. There were rows and rows of seats. A hushed silence was broken by whispers. The usher, USHER, looked at our tickets and showed us our seats. I couldn't wait for the movie to start. How gigantic the screen was. Finally, the movie started. I'll never forget how big everything seemed. And I nearly screamed when the Tyrannosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, REX, shook the children's overturned car. I had goosebumps, GOOSEBUMPS, on my arms. The terror I felt throughout the movie, quite thrilling and so memorable. The final departure of the people from the park was such a relief that I started crying. Going to a movie hall for the first time in my life and watching a film like Jurassic Park made it an unforgettable Sunday. It was more than being just a pleasant day. I know I shall have many memorable days in my life, but I'm sure this particular Sunday will always be ranked amongst the most memorable. Word notes, screened, প্রদর্শিত হয়েছিল, dawned, সকাল হয়েছিল, hushed, চুপ করিয়ে দিয়েছিল, silence, নীরবতা, gigantic, বিশাল, goosebumps, রোমাঞ্চে গায়ে কাঁটা দেয়, thrilling, romanchakor. A visit to a circus show, points, introduction. You desire to visit it. Various performances, conclusion. Life needs a deviation from the drudgeries of daily existence. Drudgeries, DRUDGERIES. A circus show can offer this deviation to us. Last month, I happened to see a circus in my town. It was the famous Kohinoor, KOHINOOR circus. A huge crowd was pouring into its tent to see the splendid feats, FEATS, of men, women, and tamed animals. Some of my friends who visited the circus show spoke highly of it. Naturally, I longed to see the circus. It was Sunday and I made up my mind to visit the circus. The entire place was glittering with lights. First came a grand procession of birds, animals, men, and girls. They were all dressed up in colorful dresses. The band played. Then the show began at 6:30 p.m. amid loud cheers from the spectators. First came in some young gymnasts, GYMNASTS. I wondered whether they were made of rubber. The rhythmic RHYTHMIC movements of their bodies enthralled us. The second item was a dance by a troupe, TROUPE, of girls on horseback. The way they somersaulted, SOMERSAULTED, in the air and came down on their feet on the saddles, SADDLES, was really incredible. The intermittent entrance of the jokers had us in splits of laughter. Then came the cyclists. They exhibited marvelous feats on the cycles in the velodrome, VELODROME. Then the elephant was brought in and did a lot of funny tricks. It stood up on its hind legs and danced. It took a man's hat off with his trunk, trunk, and threw it up in the air. There were performing monkeys and dogs as well, who played wonderful tricks. A parrot fired a shot with a gun, which amused the spectators greatly. The show came to an end at 9 p.m. The memory of this experience will remain ever fresh in my mind. Word notes pouring into জমায়েত হচ্ছিল. Made up my mind, মনস্থির করলাম. Feet কীর্তি. Intermittent মাঝে মধ্যে. Velodrome সাইকেল দৌড়ের পথ. A visit to an exhibition points. Introduction, types of exhibition, budding artists, how I liked it, conclusion. Exhibitions are held to give impetus to art, architecture, agriculture, industry, and business. A few days ago, I visited an art exhibition that touched my heart. The exhibition was on the paintings of different budding budding artists. It was held in the Dupleix Art Gallery, GLLERY, at Chandanagar. The artists depicted different themes and ideas through their paintings. One of them wanted to document the events of a particular period, while another represented the theme of personal chronicling, chronicling, of time. Sumeru, Sumeru Mukherjee, a young artist, got much approbation, approbation, from the spectators for his visionary paintings. Shanghamitra Sen, a female artist, presented Cubism, Cubism, through her paintings on modern art. Anindo, Anindya Sharkar, another young artist, tried to capture the importance of mythology and archetypes, archetypes, in his paintings. The great variety of paintings bemused me. I passed a couple of hours in the twinkling of an eye. But as an enthusiast in art, I would have loved to see some specimens of the famous wash painting, an art which was invented by Abanindranath Tagore, in the exhibition. Some spectators bought some of the paintings. Some spectators bought some of the paintings. A painting named Speed was sold at a high price. I would have been extremely happy if I could buy one, but it was beyond my capacity to procure one such painting. Despite not being a connoisseur, connoisseur, in art, I spent an interesting Sunday afternoon. Word notes, impetus, অভিঘাত, প্রেরণা, budding, উদীয়মান, approbation, সমর্থন, visionary, কল্পলোক সম্বন্ধীয়, connoisseur, শিল্পকলার সমঝদার. A visit to a zoo points. Introduction, entering the zoo, various types of birds and animals, aquarium, aquarium, leaving the zoo, conclusion. Wanting to spend some time away from the drudgeries of everyday life, I visited the Alipur Zoological Garden last 25th December with some of my friends. This visit was memorable because it was both enjoyable and educative. We crossed the green sward, SWARD, and were greeted by varieties of monkeys in cages. They chattered and ate the food thrown by the visitors. Then we came across a beautiful lake in which swam some water birds. There were some, page 468, migratory birds as well. As we moved, we came to the big netted enclosure in which birds were housed. There were parrots and many other birds. Most of them were twittering, chirping, and whistling. We visited the tigers, lions, zebras, giraffes, giraffes, rhinos, rhinoes, and elephants. The roars of the lions and the tigers were deafening, deafening. We also saw the deer and stags grazing under the shade of trees. They turned to look at us with their beautiful eyes sometimes. Our next halt was at the aquarium section. There were fishes of many species and colors. At about 2 p.m., feeling tired, we rested and relaxed on the grassy ground for half an hour. Fragrance of flowers coming from somewhere was really soothing. We again began to stroll around the zoo after having our lunch. In the reptile house, we saw a variety of amphibians like crocodiles, snakes, frogs, and a variety of other creatures. It was around 5 p.m. when we came out of the zoo. We boarded a bus, casting a last and lingering look at the zoo. Word notes: sward, S-W-A-R-D, ঘাসে ছাওয়া জমি, migratory birds, পরিযায়ী পাখি, twittering, কলরব করছিল, pacing, পায়চারি করছিল, mammoth, বিশাল, stroll, ঘুরে বেড়ানো, amphibian, উভচর. A visit to a museum points: introduction, things on the ground floor, things on display on the first floor, things on display on the second floor. Conclusion. A museum is a treasure house of antiquities. Antiquities. The exhibits kept in a museum reflect a country's culture and civilization, its historical panorama. They focus on its mores, MORES, customs and manners, its religions and relics, its art and architecture. In a word, a museum is the miniature reflection of a country's ancient heritage. Recently, I went to visit my uncle in New Delhi. I had a long cherished desire to visit the National Museum, a historic and famous museum. He took me on a visit there. The entire museum is divided into many sections like anthropological division, archaeological division, display section, and so on. Para. On the first floor, charts, paintings, and murals, as well as manuscripts in various languages, were on display. There were ancient dresses, robes, and weapons. There was numismatics, NUMIS section in one corner. In one of the other halls, I found the historic Ajanta and Ellora paintings. Beside it, there was a depiction of the lives of Rama, Krishna, and Lord Buddha through scriptures and sculptures. Seeing this section, I discovered the real India. On the second floor, we found the remains of the Indus Valley civilization. They included the artifacts from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, broken parts of potteries, beads, toys, stones, and skulls. They threw a light on the civilization of those times. I realized how advanced that civilization had been. The third floor houses the military equipments of the different periods of Indian history. There were weapons like swords, sheaths, spears, and pruning hooks, shields and helmets. Various dresses of the generals and commanders of ancient times were on display. For me, the visit to the museum was a thrilling experience. What I saw and observed in the museum enriched my life. Word notes, treasure house, Akor, Dhanabhandar, antiquities, প্রত্নতাত্ত্বিক সামগ্রী, architecture, স্থাপত্য, cherished desire, সযত্নে লালিত ইচ্ছা, sturdy, মজবুত, anthropological, নৃতাত্ত্বিক, artifact, শিল্পকর্মের নিদর্শন. A visit to a magic show. Points. Introduction, role of magicians, various performances, conclusion. Magicians are wonderful entertainers. They give viewers joy, make them laugh, and thus recharge their flagging energy. Magician P.C. Sarkar, SORCAR Senior, said, quote, "Keep believing in magic, stop. Magic is the answer to everything, stop. It is fun because it never says no to anything, stop," unquote. Through the ages, magic has been one of the most popular forms of entertainment. From sleight, SLEIGHT, of hand, to vanishing tricks, all belong to the wonderful world of magic. That is why a magic show is never boring. Something new and exciting happens every minute. Last year, I visited a magic show with my elder sister. The magic show was organized at Mahajati Sadon in Kolkata. The magician was gorgeously attired, ATTIRED. He started with simple tricks. He pulled the rabbit out of the hat and produced flowers out of thin air and made a tiny orange tree grow out of the sand. He took a bag from a spectator and changed it into a blue bird. It flew all around the hall. Our delight and joy knew no bounds. The magician's act was flawless. His movements were very fast and fluid. He kept the spectators enthralled. Then an assistant of his brought in a large flat basket covered with a red cloth. The man placed it at the center of the stage. The magician took from his turban a curious reed, REED pipe, and blew through it. A few moments after, the cloth began to move. As the pipe grew shriller, SHRILLER, and shriller, two green snakes put out their heads and rose up slowly. They swayed to and fro with the music. He then went on, amazing the spectators with more difficult tricks. He cut a lady in half and made objects disappear. He also managed a levitation LEVITATION trick. It was indeed a thrilling show. I got a chance to meet him after the show. He taught me a few simple tricks, and that, I think, was the best part of the show. Word notes, entertainers, binodonkari, flagging, dome jawa, sleight of hand, হাত সাফাই, attired, সজ্জিত ছিল, enthralled, মাতিয়ে দেওয়া, levitation, উত্থান. A visit to a country fair. Points. Introduction, location of the fair, occasion, descriptions of the fair, evening program, conclusion. A village fair. generates much enthusiasm among the villagers. It is a means of amusement for them. A country fair is held every year on the birthday of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansha at Kamarpukur, Hugli, page 469. The banyan tree under which Sri Ramakrishna used to meditate in his boyhood days still remains. The fair is held in the month of March and lasts for a fortnight. I had an opportunity to go to that fair. I reached there on the opening day of the fair. In the afternoon, we all went to the fairground. There were plenty of shops all around the fairground. Shopkeepers were selling articles of daily use. The homemakers crowded round the stalls selling pots, pans, pitchers, and kitchen utensils. Food stalls drew a large number of children. We saw the merry-go-round from a distance and went there. I saw many boys and girls having great fun on their joy rides. I took my nephews Abhishek and Abhirup for a joyride. Their joy took me back. Their joy took me back to my childhood, far away from the harsh realities of my present world. There was a tempting variety of wooden toys and clay dolls. My nephew Abhishek gave me no peace till I bought a big rocking horse for him. A friend of Abhirup came running to say that a magician was holding shows in a little booth at one corner and we should go there. We enjoyed the magic show. In the evening, a musical program was held. A local singer sang songs of D.L. Roy. The memory of the fair still lingers in my mind. Word notes: amuse, amod kora; tempt, lok dekhano; meditation, dhyan; fortnight, pokkokal; nephew, bhaipo bonpo; pitchers, kujo, kolshi; tempting, lok dekhano; linga, roye giyeche emon. Exercise 1. Why should one study literature? Introduction. What is literature? Its impact upon the readers, characteristics of various genres of literature, benefits of the study of literature. A reader must be choosy. Conclusion. 2. A book fair you visited. Introduction. Description of the stalls, your experience. Conclusion. 3. Rabindranath Tagore. Introduction. His birth and schooling. His literary writing started from boyhood. His literary works. Contribution of Rabindranath. Conclusion. 4. Sharat Chandra Chattopadhyay. Introduction. His birth and boyhood. His literary works. His characters. Why is he your favorite author? Conclusion. 5. Air pollution. Introduction. Various causes for air pollution. Effects of air pollution. Steps taken to reduce air pollution. Conclusion. 6. Noise pollution. Introduction. Sources of noise pollution. Effects of noise pollution. Measures of control. Conclusion. 7. Water pollution. Introduction. Causes of water pollution and its extent. Remedies. Conclusion. 8. A sunset scene seen by you. Introduction. Description of the scene. Your feeling. Conclusion. 9. A visit to the countryside. Introduction. Your desire to visit a countryside. Description of the place after reaching there. Lifestyle of villagers. Conclusion. 10. A walk in the rain. Introduction. Condition of the sky. Rain started. Ran to the rain. Description of rain. The surroundings. 11. Students and politics. Introduction. Should acquire proper knowledge of politics. Political consciousness. Conclusion. 12. Newspaper. Introduction. Role in forming public opinion. Benefit of reading newspaper. Political bias these days. Conclusion. Next, page 470. Story writing.